Oh my god, I've been muted the entire time. Sorry guys. Well, welcome to the stream proper. Thank you, Sean, for the ping. So I've been talking this entire time and you've heard absolutely nothing. So, let's start that again, shall we? Welcome to today's Division 2 stream. 4th round of the season in Belgium. We've got a wet qualifying here around Spa-Francorchamps, and then a wet to dry race as well. First laps in qualifying have come in already. Edwin needs an invite. There we go. So we should have a 19-car grid then once Edwin is in the lobby. He's missed the first couple of minutes of qualifying. The first laps have come in. Rival on pole position at the moment. His teammate slowly coming out to the line now though, and he looks to be on a good lap here. And it is enough to steal pole position of his teammate for the moment. 55.492 from Sully. Got Flavors coming into the last couple of corners as well now. Going to be braking at about 125 meters for the massive chicane. Second gear. Misses the apex curb a little bit and goes quite a bit deep on the exit as well. That lost him a lot of time the last two corners. And in the end, he is slowest of those who've put a lap time in so far. 7/10 behind Marco in 5th position. Flavors at the moment in 6th, quite a few drivers still without lap times. Drivers have waited a long time to get out on track here. The first like 2 minutes I think it took for anyone to leave the pit lane. They see keeping the all-take mode enabled through Stavelo and understeering quite a bit from it. But he's also coming down towards Blanching Man now, should be fully flat as well, and of course it is. But he actually abandons the lap, he's not going to finish it. We will go with Gabriel and watch his full lap. I commentated over the entire lap we saw from Viral, but of course you couldn't hear any of that, so I'll just try again. So, Gabriel starting a lap now, braking for the last corner. Gonna try and get a good exit as possible here, although he's quite narrow on the entry, which certainly cost him a bit of exit speed. Now, all-take mode enabled, down towards La Source, braking at about 110, 120 meters. Get the car stopped, second gear, clip the apex curb and back on the power, slowly back towards the 100% throttle. Now, all-take mode enabled, down towards our Rouge, let's see if it's flat by now. At the start of qualifying it wasn't quite flat, now we have a dry line just about coming in, and Gabriel keeps his foot on the floor, fully flat through a Rouge. All-take mode enabled as well, again, down the Camel Straight, and down towards Lecom. We've got a soft tire already for Mihai. Gabriel now braking at about 75 meters for Lecom. 4th gear for the first part, stays in 4th gear, cuts as much as we can as possible over that curb. One tire within the track limits, perfectly legal. And down towards Bushel now braking just about where the curb starts on the left hand side, goes a little bit deep there as we have a new fastest time from Viral at 54.0. Gabi staying very tight to the inside, making sure he opens this corner, no name up as much as possible. Although he does miss the apex curb a little bit, making sure to stay away from that grass. Now down towards Puhon, fully flat in the dry, here in the rain. Has to go down to 5th gear. As he also understeered a little bit. He's struggling more of the understeer it seems than the oversteer. Now down towards the right-left chicane for Gabri. Stays in 4th gear all the way through, back on the power. Down towards Stavalo, braking at the 50-meter board. 4th gear through here as well, back on the power once more, 100% throttle. Does he keep it fully pinned as well? Yes he does, but he does stay in 5th gear all the way through to limit the acceleration of the car, just going into the rev limiter there. And down towards Blanchimont, of course, fully flat all the way down from here to the Mustang chicane. Shouldn't be any major time gains here. Although he's run out of ERS there, so he's used too much in the early part of the lap, braking at about 130 meters for the bus stop, all over the curb on the inside on the first part and the second part. Back on the power, down towards the line, and for Gabriel it's going to be a 154.207, and those 210s he's missing to Viral, I can tell you where they are. It's the ERS management. Because I would think what I saw from Gabriel was that he was using hot lap the entire lap, which already in the dry you don't want to be doing. You want to be switching between medium and overtake, and Gabriel in the rain as well. You certainly don't want to be on hot lap at any point of the lap really. Now we've got the rain actually completely stopping. We've got a couple of guys on the softs. Edwin, the first one on the dry compound on track. Mihai is well on them, but he's still in the pit lane. So the first couple of minutes of qualifying essentially useless, pretty much. Sully comes in with a new fastest time of 53.780. The track getting a lot faster now. It's a dry line. Well, the dry line has been here for a while, but it's really coming into its own now, and the track getting faster and faster at the end of qualifying. It's going to be very exciting to the end. I think it will be crucial to go out as late as he possibly can. Phantom Fox with a big moment there through Stavelo. Only 11 drivers of lap time so far. It's the two Red Bulls on pole, which is becoming a familiar sight in the wet races. Sully and Ryder really excelling in the last 3 weeks. 3 wet races in a row we had. At Kota, of course, the entire way through. Hungary, the start off wet, and then went to dry conditions later, and we're gonna have the same thing today as well. A wet start into a dry race around Spa. Becoming very familiar with these intermediate tires, with these wet conditions, these drivers must be. We see Willie as well coming into his lap, and he's gonna put in a 53.807, very close to Sully on pole. Splits the two Red Bulls, gets in the front row of the grid. Now, do we have anyone near the end of a push lap? I don't believe so. Always might be on one. No, he's on none EIS. Flavors has just invalidated his laps. At the moment, I don't think anybody's actually pushing. Edwin went back to the pits on his soft tires. He didn't actually start a lap, so not time for the softs just yet, even though the track looks basically bone dry. Sorry, back into the pits. 5 minutes left to go in Indian qualifying, and now you have a crucial strategy decision to make. Do you risk it on the softs? Do you think the track will be dry enough towards the last 2 minutes of qualifying? Or are you gonna play it safe, go for the inters, and yeah, stick to what's been working? Sean, quite early to go out on the softs, I would say, because if you are gonna go for the soft, surely you'd want to wait as long as humanly possible, so you get the driest possible track. Sean has gone out very early on these softs, I would say, with 4.5 minutes to go, and he's not got enough fuel in the car. 2.5 laps in his car to do 2 in a row as well. So this is his run. Interestingly. If I was in this position right now as a driver, I'll just stay in the pit lane until like 2 minutes 45, 2 minutes 30, and then go out on whatever the tire to be on that time is. Of course, it would be difficult to know what tire to be on. Maybe what Sean is doing is just running an outlap, seeing how it feels, and then coming back in to decide if he wants to go for a fresh soft again to do his lap, or if he wants to then change back to an inter to do a lap right at the end. That would be a smart thing actually by Sean. Otherwise, if he's coming out now to do a hot lap, that's the stupidest thing he could possibly do. The track will only get faster and faster from here, even if you're on inters. You want to have a dry track, of course. Yusuf 2.5 seconds up, massive gains on his previous best. So that dry track really doing him a world of good. And I imagine similar for Bazooka. He's not going to show me a delta time, unfortunately. We'll see what happens to Bazooka as he comes into the last 2 corners, where he goes. Currently 10 fastest, 56.133. And of course, the track being almost fully dry, a lot of lap time to be gained. He jumps to 4th place with a 54.194. And now Yusuf over the line goes top. 53.315 by Yusuf. The fastest lap time of the session so far with 3 minutes to go. Sean is gonna come back into the pit lane like I thought he would. Mia has come out on the softs. Desi towards the end of a lap on inters as well. He has gone purple in the middle sector. Of course, purple being compared to Mihai, Actionbrick, Edwin and Marcelio, and himself of course. Edwin also on an outlap on the intermediates. And with only 2.5 minutes left to go on qualifying, the guys who are in the pits are all going to come out at once here. They have to come out now. And that's going to be a very hectic outlap for all of them. I can see the movement in the pit lane now. And they are indeed all coming out at once. Desi goes top, 53.134. The track heating up. But is it dry enough for the slicks? Let's see. Has anyone opted for the slicks? Viral coming out on the intermediates. We've got Flavors on the softs. Mihai on the softs. He's the first one of them, and he will be in quite a bit of traffic, I believe, as the guys are still coming out the pit lane. They're going to be rushing to make the line. I think Mihai might actually... Yeah, he should be fine, because they are not going to be that slow that he catches them. They have to go at full speed, essentially, and I think guys like Edwin might miss the line, no? Oh, well, Edwin has already done his lap, but he won't get around for another one, and I think the same... I don't think Always, for example, is going to make the line. He's come out too late. So, let's go on board with Mihai, who's starting his final lap of qualifying, and we shall see how these softs work. If there is the grip to do a hot lap on the soft. Wow, the traction control is just killing everything on the exit. That looked so painful to watch. The car just not wants to go at all. And that's the end of Mihai's hot lap as he... What is he doing? That was a horrid rouge. Just hold the wheel. Like, somewhat straight. I don't know what I was just seeing there. Bazooka now as well. Coming over the line for his last lap. 54.1 his previous best. He is still on the intermediates. 5 lap inters at this point. And that's how you do a rouge. Just keep the wheel constant. Don't hack at it like a madman. And now all of these soft runners coming towards the end of their outlaps. How much time is left? There's a yellow flag in sector 3, so unfortunately I can't see. Flavors now going over the line to start his final lap in qualifying. Are some guys gonna miss out on starting these laps though at the end? And even if they aren't, look at how close that Red Bull is behind him. That is DC Viral on intermediates. So if the soft doesn't work for Flavors, Viral is also going to get in trouble here because Flavors will get in his way. Still a yellow flag in sector 3. I still can't see a safe rotation time, unfortunately. Now we know it's past 0. Yusuf, PC, Woody, Pocho, Always, Sean, Edwin all missed the line and are not going to get in that lap. And Desi back to the pit lane. We've got Viral right behind Flavors here. Flavors on the softs, Viral on inters. Sean now disqualified from the session for going the wrong way, even though he's already finished. And it looks like Viral and Flavors is roughly equal in pace, and that's with Viral in his dirty air. That's still the problem. When you go that late, everyone making a big mistake there, as Flavors has to let Viral through in the middle of his hot lap. And it seems like it was too early for the softs. So, the guys on the Inter, Sully, Viral, Bazooka, might be in a absolutely amazing position here. Picks as well, Edwin would have been if he hadn't missed the line. Bazooka through the last 2 corners. Currently 6th fastest. Can he go higher than that? Up to the line. And he goes fastest. 53.042 for Bazooka. Anyone on the dries quick? I can't see sector times, unfortunately, really. Well, Flavors, we saw him go off. I think Thunderfox is the only one on the dries actually still on a hot lap. Viral up by a full second. We're looking at Sully and Viral, I think. Mainly. 2 seconds Sully is gaining. He's on for a 51. He's massively up against Bazooka. I think Sully is about to claim a position here. Unless Viral has a lot of time to gain the final sector. He was up by a second in the middle sector, so he should be able to get into P1 from now. But Sully is going to demolish that lap time. 52.2 by Viral, 8/10 faster than Bazooka. But now look at Sully. 53.780 his previous best, 1.5 behind what Viral just said, and he goes into the 51s. 51.399 by Sully, 9/10 up on his teammate. Thunderfox on the softs does come around, but he is not going to be putting a good lap time in here whatsoever. He's not even going to improve in the end, and he stays 9 fastest, and that is it for qualifying. Picks went into 6th as well on the intermediates. All the guys in the softs went for the wrong strategy. So, the order, a Red Bull 1-2, getting very familiar with that in these wet conditions. Sully on pole, followed by Viral, then Bazooka, Desi, Yusuf, Pix, and PC Winnie in 7th. Followed by Gabri, Phantom Fox, and Marco rounding out the top 10. Then Pocho, Marcelio, Always, Flavors, Mihai, Action Rig, Google River, Edwin without lap time, and Sean being disqualified for going the wrong way. What an end to the qualifying there. Loads of people missing the line as they just went out too late, waited too long to try and make those softs work maybe. Or to have the perfect track rather than just making sure you get a track at all. at the end of qualifying, and it's cost them dearly. And the order really jumbled up now. Really, the only title contender up there is Sully. Maybe Viral as well. Is he in that title contending group at this point? I mean, that's the third time this season that he is P2 behind his teammate in a wet condition like this. He is really establishing himself as a very, very good driver in these wet conditions, or changeable conditions. But look at that gap at the front. Unbelievable. 8.5 tenths to Sully to Viral, another 8 tenths to Bazooka, and then it gets very close between Bazooka, Desi, Yusuf, and Pix. Finally, PC Wooly, Gary, Fandom, Marco are in the top 10. Marcelio, the only one actually whose best lap time is on a dry compound. He qualifies 12th. And 7 seconds separating the whole grid, so you can really tell that these conditions, yeah, made some problems for some of these drivers. And it's going to have to be quite a big comeback drive for the likes of Edwin and Sean and Gabri even as well. He's quite far down. So we are certainly in for an exciting 22 laps around Spa. And we have got more rain for the Grand Prix as well. That should be intermediate conditions for the start of the race. Question is, how long do you stay on those intermediates? When is it time to box for the dries? How long can you go on the intermediates as well? I mean, eventually they are going to, of course, run out of tire life. Let's see what the drivers are saying. Of course, worth mentioning, the massive gap that Viral had to Sully in qualifying could have been mainly because Viral was caught behind Flavors to start his lap until Flavors decided, not sure if he decided or had to let him through, but either way, once Viral got past him, he could drive on his own. Flavors, of course, on the soft tire, not having any grip on this wet track that was still wet, so Viral losing quite a bit of time stuck behind him. But that's the risk you take when you go out that late. You are going to have to start a lap close to someone. And the drivers really just tripping over each other's feet there at the end of qualifying. Now we're gonna have a formation lap, and it should be every single driver on the intermediates.
The formation lap has started, and I must say the weather conditions aren't the best today for visibility and for grip. As each driver performs this lap, they'll be wanting to settle in and concentrate, as this race, in these conditions, will require a lot of focus.
Yep, intermediate tires for the entire grid, not a single full wet or dry compound, and that makes sense. I mean, certainly too wet for dries and too dry for wet.
As the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
So, 2 Red Bulls on the front row, Sully on the right hand side on pole position, with Viral on the one way around. Sully on the left hand side on pole position and Viral on the right hand side in second place. Behind them, Bazooka, Desi, and Yusuf. A very jumbled up grid. And that's going to be a very, very exciting race now as well. Sean and Edwin making up the last row of the grid. 2 champions all the way at the back. Prepare for a lot of things happening in this race. A lot of drivers making their way through the field. So, here we go. 5 red lights. Sully against Viral, once more the 2 Red Bulls on the front row, and it's lights out, and away we go. Sully gets away decently, a little bit loose on the throttle. Bazooka attacking Viral on the inside there. Viral turning the fence in the track, trying to go around the outside of Sully, but it's not going to work out for him. He tries a switchback line on the exit, but gets caught behind his teammate. Sully still in lead after the first corner. Now we go down towards Eau Rouge, and it should be fully flat as well in these opening laps. A lot of fuel in the car, so maybe some small lifts as well of the dirty air. But now we're going to become the straight more of the cars off the back, and that's Marcelio, who's made a mistake up through a Rouge, has to go off into grass. Sully holding on to P1, still against Viral. The slipstream not enough to overtake his teammate. Of course, loads of movement happening in the midfield there. That's one of the Mercedes cars. Edwin with a great start, already up to 16th. He's made up 3 plays against Always Guerrero and Action Rick. Sean up to 14th as well. Both of them getting through the field very, very well here. But the 2 Red Bulls holding on to the first 2 positions rather nicely, creating a bit of a gap to Bazooka in behind. PC Wooly putting a lot of pressure on Yusuf as he looks up the inside into Puan. not the move you want to make, I think, this early in the race. You want to be a bit more patient, and he thinks the same as I do. As Van Fox does make that move up the inside of Pix through Puhorn. Gabri having to defend from Pocho into the right-left chicanes there. But he does hold on to 10th position, just about still in the points as Gabri here. So we come into the last couple of corners of the lap already. Nothing major on the open lap. Just Marcelio was dropped from 12th to last place, but he's still in the train. Everyone still in the race. And now we have PC Wooly and Yusuf side by side through Blanchimont. And PC Wooly goes through on the inside. Great bravery by the Scotsman to move up to 5th place. Oh, great timing. Now we've got Marco all over the back of Yusuf as well, down the main straight, down towards La Source. Easy to put a move on him on the braking. Late on the inside, the Alpine gets alongside in the braking, they bang wheels. And Yusuf gets a better exit on the outside. Now Van der Fox may be attacking as well from behind, but no, it's Marco actually who pulls fully ahead of Yusuf on the exit there. And Upper Rouge, Marco, has made up a place up towards P6. Yusuf already with a time penalty, 3 seconds for multiple warnings as Gabri is putting an attack on Pix as well. Pisivoli goes up into 4th against Desi. Gabri having to defend against Pocho rather now than attacking Pix. But he does hold on to 10th still. Pix still in 9th. The 2 Red Bulls once more traveling away at the front of the field, getting a very much deja vu from the last 2 races as Gabri and Pix make contact and both go a bit straight on there. Pocho slips through as well against Pix, and now both Gabri and Pocho up 1 place into 9th and 10th. Pix down to 11th. And already the next car in his mirrors there as Mihai is looking for a move into Puon. Surely not, he sends it up the inside. Pix leaves him the space. But Mihai still can't complete the move. That was very ambitious, and he can count himself lucky that that didn't end in any sort of crash, I would say. Flavors already with wing damage on the front left end plate. He must have made contact with another car at some point. And has lost a bit of front wing, losing a bit of downforce. We've got Pisivoli already looking at the back of Bazooka in the battle for 3rd place. He wants to go chasing after those Red Bulls. Doesn't want to repeat for the last 2 races, where Soli and Rival were able to run away with the race for a little bit. In Hungary, Pisivoli was able to steal P2. Wasn't quite able to do enough to beat Sully to the win. We've got DRS enabled actually, which I did not realize. Interesting, the entire field on the intermediates, but still, DRS enabled. That will help a lot with making overtakes actually happen. But I do think if it's dry enough for DRS, it won't be dry enough for dry tires I think, but the intermediates might overheat. So that's something to look out for, SPCBly. With a bit of a cutback line through a Rouge, should have a better exit than Bazooka, and now with DRS as well, should be able to fly past him up into 3rd place. In the background, Marco not able to get past Desi, as Desi's got DRS, but Van Fox does get past Yusuf for 7th place. Yusuf, after a great qualifying, is not falling down the all at the moment. It's still early in the race, he's still in the points. Still in a good position. We've got Edwin at the back of Guga River for 15th here. 2 drivers who certainly want to make their way through the grid throughout the rest of this race. Both them and Sean up ahead of him. Really should be further up the grid. Always with, not always, sorry. Always, of course, also one of the drivers you usually see a bit further up than this. But Guga with a first podium in Division 2 last week in Hungary. Not the way to carry that form that he would have wanted to, really. Of course, a couple of drivers missing as well. Today we've got Kuko, who's been replaced by Mark, who's not racing. Actually didn't mention that at all in qualifying, so I'm going to do it now. Yeah, Kuko replaced by Marco, and Lanky replaced by Pocho, and then Ossi as well, not able to race today, and he isn't replaced by anyone. That's the one free seat we have in the McLaren. PC really the only driver in this race without a teammate. Viral is definitely keeping up with Sully. And the DRS enabled, we could be seeing a change of lead on this lap maybe. We've got a pit stop from Desi, the first one in this place to make a pit stop, and Pix in as well. Are they going to go for the dry tires? Is it time already? Are they going to work? I mean, there's not a lot of rain, it's still slightly coming down. We've got quite a few drivers in the pits. Edwin, Marcelio as well in now. And we've got hard tires for Desi. Let's see if that works. We'll keep an eye out on that gap as well, down at the bottom of the leaderboard, and see if that works out for those guys. Now, GC Rival, is he close enough to Sully to make a move? Is he gonna want to make a move? He's on non-ES. Oh, sorry. On non-ES. Doesn't want to make that move. 6 behind his teammate, for the moment at least. Which could be a problem for him if that rain is gonna stop now and they have to pit on the same lap. He will have to double stack. So if I was him, I would have been desperate to get ahead, to make sure that I can get the preferential treatment for the pit stop. That I either can decide that I either avoid a double stack, or that I can decide to lap a pit. Because now, if he is behind, well yeah, he either has to take a double stack or pit a lap later than Sully. And Sully can claim the ideal pit stop lap for himself. BC will be getting closer and closer though. It's gap down to 1.7 seconds now. So we can gear up for a three-way battle for this race, when it would seem. 4 seconds in behind to Bazooka. The gap from Desi to Action Rig is slowly coming down. It seems to be a slight advantage for the hard compound over the intermediate. 5.5, yeah, 5.3. Desi is definitely faster, so let's see. Are we going to be seeing the rest of the field coming in this lap? The rain is stopped completely as well. Sully is in. Viral stays out for another lap. Bisiburi is in. Bazooka into the pits. Marco into the pits. Phantom in. Gabri in. Yusuf in. Pocho out. Mihai out. Guga River in. Flavors in. Always in. Action Rig in. Only 3 cars left on the intermediates now. Mihai, Pocho and Viral going wrong. Everybody else in the pits. Now, Desi, where's he gonna end up with this undercut here? He will jump quite a few drivers. He's gonna come out of FPC really easy. Or at least side by side. Okay, slightly bad, but Desi has just jumped up into essentially 4th place in this lap, and of course Viral is still out on track. Desi might end up in 3rd position with this strategy. A great strategy call by Desi. And of course the same for Pix, Edwin and Shaw, but they didn't benefit nearly as much for some reason. Desi catapulting himself into the battle for the podium of this race. Guga River getting past Sean there. As Guga River opted for the mediums, he'll be faster straight out the pit lane, and Sean will be on the hard compound. Although Sean already had a lap on this tire, so his should be a little more warmed up. And Sully, of course, gaining rapidly on Mihai. These 3 are definitely gonna regret having to do an extra lap. I mean, Mihai didn't have to. His teammate Edwin already pitted a lap earlier than that. We've got a yellow flag for Gabri! Gabri's round into the gravel at 2-1. What has happened to Gabri? He rejoins the race in 16th position. 17th position as he gets passed by Always as well. And he has lost a bit of front ring as well. The front left end plate on that Haas is gone. Nightmare for Gabri. Viral into the pits now. And Sully is going to make a move on Mihai already. Around the outside through the bus of chicane. Mihai cannot do anything against it, and I don't think he wants to even. I mean, why would he? He's about to pit anyway. Not racing Sully in this Grand Prix. And look at the gap that Viral is going to have as well now. He's lost so much time with an extra lap. Sully and Fisiburi are way ahead. He's going to fall behind Desi as well. Here he comes out the pit lane. Onto the throttle. Where's Desi? Ah, he is still ahead of Desi, barely, but Desi will have the DRS on this straight, and he could claim 3rd place if he can fly past the Red Bull on this straight. Viral has to burn ERS, and here comes Desi. DRS enabled. Is he close enough? He hasn't got a lot of ERS. That could be the thing that costs him here, and I think, yes, Viral is just about going to hold on to 3rd place. But that one extra lap that he had to do has cost him. Just like I said, when he had the chance to overtake Sully, he really should have taken it, so that he could have had the ideal pit stop lap, because then he would be where Sully is right now, 3 seconds in lead over PC. Rather unfortunate for Viral. But he's still up on 3rd place, still in a very good position. Just not in the battle for the win anymore. He has to make his way back towards Sully for that first, which is a gap of almost 6 seconds right now. So quite a bit of work to do. It's Thunderfox drives completely through the grass through Poor. That's not the optimal line whatsoever. So now, we're only 6 laps in and the rain is already gone. The question is, those hards, are they gonna make it to the end? I don't think they will, and the mediums definitely won't. So we should be seeing one more pit stop from everyone, at least. Gabriel made another pit stop as well. He's changed that front wing, and we've got a yellow flag for somebody. Might have been Desi, because he's been passed by Bazooka? No, he seems fine. But he wasn't that close to Bazooka, was he? So I guess he had maybe a half spin or something, because his front wing is fine. But he hasn't lost the place in quite a bit of time. Yeah, I guess it would have been Desi then. Bazooka goes very deep out of the bus chicane. And that's Yusuf in the background with a massive moment. Dropping out of the DRS train now. Edwin has got Pix on his side on his comeback drive here. And this battle for 4th place is really close. We've got Bazooka all the way down to Edwin, really, all in this duel for 4th position. Now as we come onto the camel straight, Desi attacked by Marco. Desi not really got a lot of EAS left, it seems, and Marco has to go up the inside. Desi goes a little bit deep and actually gets passed by Phantom Fox as well. Maybe Phantom Fox now ghosting through him, as Desi was lagging a little bit there. Let's see if Phantom Fox can take advantage of that. As they are still, well, not side by side, inside each other through Bruxelles, but Phantom Fox slowly pulling ahead. I think he's gonna have this after a little while once he finally pulls ahead. There we go. Phantom Fox up into 6th. Desi losing 2 places there against Marco, and then Phantom Fox. His strategy call was great. Makes his way up into 4th place, almost 3rd place against Viral as well. But he fairly quickly dropped back to 7th now. And now it's Bazooka, Marco and Phantom battling over 4th. Desi chasing them from behind. And now we have got Edwin staring at the back of Yusuf in the battle for 8th. Sauber against Mercedes. Pix not far behind though. Edwin having to use a bit of overtake to make sure he stays ahead of Pix here. Although he is currently 9 tenths back from Yusuf. He needs to be careful he doesn't drop out of the DRS range. As Pix, I think if he wanted to, he probably could have made a move on him there. He's getting close, very close into the bus stop. Now the Dirty Air drops him back a little bit. Guka River and Pocho in behind as well. There you can see him in the background chasing after this train. So, on to the Camel Straight once more. Edwin is quite far back from Yusuf, won't be this lap for sure. Yusuf seems to have a bit of a pace advantage over Edwin right now. The gap not really coming down significantly, of course, now to the DRS. Edwin will close in a little bit towards the... oh, we've got a move there as well. Pocho against Guga River. Pocho moves up to 11th. And we've got a battle between Sean and Mihai. As Mihai holds on around the outside. Sean still stuck in 14th place. His comeback not going all that well. 8 laps in, and he's still 14th. Not what he needed in this race whatsoever. And it's going even worse for Glari. He's still 14 seconds back from the train, of course. With the extra pit stop, he is going to have a mountain to climb. If there's no safety car in this race, I think it's fairly obvious to say Gabri is not going to be scoring a single point here. At best, the fastest lap, I guess. Pocho practically pushing Pix now, coming into the last sector. He's got a lot of EAS to make a way around that Williams. Down towards Blanchimont. Pocho 1/10 behind and practically pushing Pix. And now into the bus chicane. Pocho moving out to the left-hand side. Goes around the outside to the first part, return to the inside for the second. And that is the move done for Pocho, up into 10th place. A very nice move against Pix. Edwin struggling to stay in DRS to Yusuf. And now with the low amount of ERS he has, Pocho might be able to fly past him and immediately get another place up into 9th. I think he will, because Edwin is not even going to have DRS on Yusuf up ahead. Makes himself very vulnerable to Pocho. Pocho with a little lift through a roof, making sure the car sticks in the dirty air. But the move still easily done for Pocho there with the DRS. Quite simply drives past Edwin down the straight. And he moves up to 9th. In the meantime, Marco got past Bazooka in the duel for 4th. Out front, Viral dropping back from Peaceably. Peaceably, I think, has gotten a little bit closer to Sully. Slightly, very slightly. It's still a 2.3 second gap. Sully in control of the race, but not unchallenged. He can't just relax. Peaceably is there. And similar goes for Bazooka. He has not been able to relax for so long here. He's had a train right behind him for pretty much his entire race, I feel like. These guys have been hounding him. Marco has gotten away over a second corner already, and Phantom Fox could be the next one to make a move on Bazooka. With the DNS rate after Rouge down towards Lecom coming up for him. That's the best opportunity. Because he could make a move into the bus stop or down towards La Source, but then you just give your opponent DNS down the Camel Straight, and also you'll be re-overtaken, so the best thing to do is always to wait for the Camel Straight. And Yusuf is round! You can see him in the background! Gets around on the exit of the corner, too early to the throttle maybe? And yeah, just spins on traction. Very unfortunate, he was in a very good position there. Well in the points. Rejoins the Grand Prix in 13th position, just ahead of his teammate Owise. Sean Moore into the pits for a fresh set of hearts. And the same goes for Marcelio. Only 6 laps on those tires. It's very interesting. Do they drop off that quickly? Is this a strategical decision to get out of traffic? I'm interested to see how this works for Marcelio and Sean. We've got Edwin and Guga River battling through Lecom. Guga River pulling out ahead towards the end of it. Mihai with a send on his teammate into Bruchel. They make contact, and Toto Wolff is not going to be liking that one whatsoever. That's marked out for Mihai just about. Well, that was certainly quite a risky maneuver, especially on your teammate. And now further insult to injury for Edwin, a 3-second time penalty added to his final race time for multiple track limit warnings. He's already out of the points, and with that penalty being applied as well, that's not going to help him one bit. Picks under pressure from Guga and Mihai. Trying to hold on to at least a couple of points here, halfway through the race. Still some way to go here in Belgium. So far, not a single car out of this race, which is very good to see. We've got a car in the pit lane in the background. It's Edwin, who is making a stop. Yeah, I look into the outside of Guga into turn 1. SPC, well, he's got the gap down to 1.9 seconds in the front. Mihai with a switchback on the exit. They're gonna go side by side down towards Aru. Surely not. Surely someone has to back out. Mihai keeps his foot in the door. And the camera angle sadly was absolutely awful. I couldn't see it at all, but it goes side by side up on Rouge. Guga coming out on top. I think Mihai did back out towards the end of the corner. As we have a swap at Sauber. Owise with the DRS gets past his teammate Yusuf. The duel that Mihai and Guga had up a Rouge cost Guga the chance, I think, to go after picks. So they are stuck behind for at least one more lap here. And Viral in complete no man's land, 6.6 seconds ahead, 6.6 seconds behind. He can't keep up with PC, Bully and Sully, but he is easily faster than Marco in behind. And we've got a familiar situation at the front. PC Bully chasing after Sully for the win. The gap is coming down. PC Bully is almost within DRS range now. The two of them already battled over the win in Hungary. And it could be a repeat of that. No one else even close to being in a position to catch up to Sully. It's only PC Bully who could stop him today. Guga into the pits on lap 12. And Yusuf is in as well. Only 6 laps now. I'm surprised how quickly these guys are. I mean, it's the third driver, I think, on the hards is pitting this early. Does the tire just drop off that much around here? Is the tire wear that bad? Phantom Fox, very close to Bazooka, using overtake mode. He's gonna go to the inside line into Licom, and out breaks the V-Cap, gets car stopped on the apex beautifully, and up to 5th place. A textbook maneuver from Phantom Fox to claim 5th position. His next target up ahead, the Alpine of Marco. 2 Ferraris in a decent position here, Phantom in 5th, Pocho in 7th, and 4th place in the sights for both of them. The podium though, an absolute mile away. Pix has sort of built a gap to Mihai there. As Mihai gets a 6-second time penalty, Pix a little bit more in control of the situation now. The mediums of Mihai maybe dropping off a bit. And he now has to look behind for Oweiss in the battle for 10th. As Pocho has gotten past Bazooka, down towards Blanchimont, Pocho up to 6th place. Now he has to scramble to get into his teammate's DRS though. Otherwise, Bazooka has to get back past him down the Camel Straight, so he's burned a bit of overtake to get within a second of Phantom Fox. He's got DRS down towards La Source. And we've got a pit stop from Bazooka. He's coming in at the end of lap 12. In the meantime, look at that gap at the front. 8 seconds from PC to Viral. Sully and PC were in an absolute world of their own today. Now, Phantom Fox in a position to make that move on Marco. 3 times back. DRS enabled, overtake mode enabled, and he quite simply drives past on the outside, but Marco so late on the brakes. Very aggressive defense by the Alpine man, and he gets the car stopped just about within track limits. Gabri now with a disconnect or rage quit, either one. Not sure, he was in the pit lane, so I would guess it's a rage quit, but just in case, I'll invite him back in. He can decide if he wants to come back or not. So that race for Gabri has not gone to plan at all. I mean, a nightmare race around Belgium. As Pocho now goes for a move on his teammate. 2 Ferraris side by side through the chicanes here. Pocho trying to swoop around the outside. A beautiful move as Pocho claims 5th place of Phantom Fox. Gabri is back in. Although he's now even further behind the pack with his AI, I think, making a pit stop then. Edwin getting past Action Rig for P13. Pisiuli in the pits now, a lap earlier than Sully. Pisiuli with the undercut. He was just in DRS range. Viral is in as well now. Well, he is completely in no man's land, so I think for him it didn't really matter what lap he pitted. And Marco still holding on to 4th, against the 2 Red Bulls. Of course, now moving up to 2nd with PC and Viral in the pits. Desi's in as well. Marco gets a little bit loose on traction. Got a yellow flag for something. I suppose something happened. Not sure what. PC has come out in traffic now. He's right at the back of this battle for 3rd place. Or for 4th place, sorry, behind Marco, Pocho and Phantom. And that is going to be very bad news for him in the battle against Sully. As Pocho goes for the move on Marco. Marco goes a little bit deep. And holds on for at least one more lap. What a defense Marco's putting up here. Now PC will use the move on Phantom Fox. He needs to get past these guys. He's losing quite a bit of time in this train for sure. And Sully, maybe he was aware of this this battle. That's why he went for another lap. Or maybe he just got lucky. Either way, very good position for Sully to be in right now. With his only rival in this race losing loads of time. As he has to get past Pocho. Through Puon. Pocho, of course, I mean, he's not going to just jump out the way. He's defending quite aggressively, in fact. Holding the inside. And PC, what a move! Swoops around the outside. Beautiful stuff by PC Wooly to take 3rd place out on track. Now he's got Marco in front of him. And then he will have gotten past that entire 3-car train, but it's cost him the full lap that he would have needed, I think, to get the undercut on Sully. Now down towards Blanchimont. Sully's in the pit lane. And Marco still holding up against PC Wooly. PC Wooly is going to send it up the inside, around the outside. What's he going to do here? He goes around the outside, under braking. He's got so much more traction. And Marco is round! Pisivoli gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting Marco into the pit lanes. He wasn't round after all. Pisivoli with a track limit penalty there. And Sully's gonna come off the pit lane. Side by side with the McLaren, I believe. Just ahead now. Oh, Pisivoli goes on the brakes to make sure he doesn't go side by side up or route. He doesn't want to take that risk. But he has got Diaz on Sully now, and he can try and make that move. Of course, he does have a 3-second time penalty now, which I think he got for cutting the bus of chicane there. The two Ferraris in the background also battling as Pisivoli takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Van der Fox back up to the third against Pochel. And here we've got Rival on fresh tyres as well against Bazooka. No, Bazooka? Why do I keep mixing up names today? Against Oweiss, of course. Is he close enough for a move up the inside? I think he would have been, but he's being patient, of course. He has all the time in the world. He wasn't really racing anyone. The gap to the leader's absolutely massive. He doesn't need to bother trying to catch him, I think. And the gap behind is also so big that he can take all the time in the world to get around Oweiss. And just do it whenever it's convenient, really. Whenever it's least risky. Why take that risk for a crash when losing time just really doesn't matter at this stage. Let's have a quick look at Pisivoli in terms of the track limit warnings. Okay, it wasn't very useful. 3 seconds for corner cutting, so not multiple warning. He got a straight 3-second penalty in that one corner, so I'm almost certain that's going to go down to the stewards then. So keep that in mind for Pisivoli. That 3-second penalty could be removed or turned into a warning. Pochel into the pits a lap before his teammate. The question is, where's Marco? He is on the back of his teammate Guga in 10th position. He is caught a bit of traffic. These guys with the undercut as well. Bazooka, Sean Snow with a big undercut as well. He's jumped quite far up the field here. Of course, Marco earlier in 4th place. And he's now at the back of these guys. Guga letting his teammate through. And where's Pochel going to come out? Just behind Mihai in 12th. So that one lap that Marco had an undercut on him has gained him so much time. Now Pochel, he really needs to get past Mihai here to get into clean air and start trying to chase after that pack up ahead. As Marco's making his way past Sean, Pochel makes his way past Mihai. Or does he? Mihai trying to hold it around the outside, and that was never going to work. Gets the door slammed in his face. Gavin with a move on action rig for 18th. Well, that safety car that he needs so far has not come. Still a couple laps to go at least. Who knows, maybe a miracle for Gary is still on the cards. Only a couple laps to go. Van der Fox and Oweiss still have not pit from those tires they changed onto after intermediates. Are they going to try and hold on to the end? Can they try and hold on to the end? I'm not sure. I mean, what sort of tire will they have at the moment? Van der Fox is going to come in. I think it's either that you pit this lap or you go to the end. And Oweiss might be thinking to go to the end because he's not come in yet. Van der Fox a lap after his teammate Pochel is into the pits as well. Pochel came out in 12th. Van der Fox is going to come out behind probably Flavors. He will have lost so much time with that undercut everyone has had on him. And he will have a lot of work to do. I mean, look how close this all is from Bazooka here in 5th place. All the way down to Flavors in 15th. These cars are all so close together. And Van der Fox actually come out right behind Pochel. He is also side by side with Mihai up Eau Rouge. But I think, crucially in this case, it'll be Mihai with the DRS. And that means advantage Mihai. Although he doesn't have any battery. So he's only slowly gonna crawl up the inside down the straight. Van der Fox, look at the traction he has on the brakes. How much later he brakes. Gains a full car length there. As he swoops around the outside, holds on to 11th, crucially for him. Marco has gotten past Bazooka. He is up to 5th place. With the tyre advantage he has. He's gonna now start chasing after Oweiss. 7 seconds to Oweiss. We're still on those old hearts. Can always hold on to 4th place. What a story that would be for him. Phantom Fox picks up a 3-second time penalty. And we still got this duel for the front 2 positions. PC Willie against Sully. In absolute control of this Grand Prix. And this massive, massive duel for 5th position, or 4th position I should say, with this entire train chasing after always. Bazooka could be the deciding factor in it, as he is still holding up that train while Marco is running away, but he does have a time penalty up ahead, Marco. I think the main one to look out for is Pocho. He doesn't have a time penalty, and he's got the best tires of anyone. But he has got quite a few cars in his way here. A lot of work to do. Flavors in the pit lane for the 2nd time this race, I believe. And we've got Phantom Fox with a move on Edwin up into 10th. Sean Moore with a move on Bazooka up into 6th. But for how close altogether these cars are, they are being very, very calm. No one really sending on anyone. Just waiting for those DRS zones. We are getting closer and closer to the end of the race. Is anyone gonna get desperate at any point? Bazooka. Now it's got Google River so close behind him. The dirty air through Puan really hurting him, you can tell. Yellow flags for Gabri as he's round coming out of Le Com. Guga with the move in Bazooka now, he's up to 7th. And Pocho might try and follow through into Stavelo. Not a place you usually see overtakes. Pocho goes up the inside and makes the move work. And now Phantom Fox, another one that's gonna start putting pressure on Bazooka. And he's gonna look for the move down towards Blanchimont. But he can't really get alongside. He might have to wait for the bus stop or even later into La Source or the Campbell Strait. Oh, he's gonna go for it on the bus stop. Around the outside, Phantom Fox goes against Bazooka. And thanks to his tyre advantage, he's able to brake significantly later and goes up to the 9th place. Now, Sean being chased by Guga and then Pocho. Got a swap for the lead. Sully gets past PC running through the DRS down the Campbell Straight. And up Eau Rouge we go. With Guerrero, he's not got enough EIS there. We've got another yellow flag for Flavors this time around, who I think let Marcelio pass. Not sure what's going on there. And Gabri, he's lost his entire front wing as well when he crashed through Le Com. So that race for him now firmly ruined, I would say. It wasn't already. Pocho very close behind Guga. Is he going to look for a move into Bruschali? He looks up the inside and he's going to try and outbrake the Alpine. And I think he will have the traction next to get that move done. Another great move by Pocho as he makes his way through this pack. Chasing after the cars ahead. Marcelio now with a 3-second time penalty. Pocho up into 7th, now chasing after Sean. Duel for the lead, still ongoing. Sully and PC really 9 seconds ahead of Raul in 3rd place. Picks with a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings as well. Phantom Fox staring at the back of Google with the 2 Ferraris. Fighting their way through this train. But Phantom Fox with a 3-second time penalty is going to lose a couple of places come the line for sure. With how close together this train is. Those time penalties are going to be so crucial. Phantom Fox once more, rowdy outside. But this time, not very good attraction to make that mistake, putting in on the yellow flag for Marcelio this time. As Edwin is back in the pit lane. That's a send on the brakes from Mihai against Bazooka. He does get ahead, but they... Oh my god, there's so much contact. As they go down towards the Rouge. Another yellow flag for Marcelio. Out of Stavlo this time. Bazooka and Mihai maybe step aside through a Rouge. No, Bazooka backs out. But Bazooka's gonna have DRS on the Campbell Straight. And that send from Mihai looks to be a very bad idea, because Bazooka is gonna be able to hold on for another lap as Pocho has gotten past Sean for 6th place. And he can now start trying to stay in that 3-second range to Marco, who himself is after Always, who is of course still out on track on those 15 lap old hards. Just trying to crawl through the flag. Now, the question of course is, can Always hold on to those tires? Are they going to puncture at any point? Or is he on an absolutely genius strategy? I mean, Marco is very close. Marco has a 3-second time penalty. Pocho could be the first one to really put pressure on Always in terms of the finishing position. A duel for the lead still going on. Sully and PC when we head into the last 2 laps of this race. PC is not going to gap the 3 seconds, so if PC wins this race, it will go down to the steward's room. If you can get that penalty removed, he got it for cutting the bus stop chicane while he was in a duel with Marco, I believe. So for sure he's going to try and get that removed. Whether it will be removed, we shall see. Well, if he finishes second, I don't think he'll bother because it won't matter. But if he does win the race, then it will go to the stewards. Phantom Fox still stuck behind Guga, still putting pressure on him, but he's not been able to make that move happen in a while now. Pocho is getting closer and closer to Marco. He's got Sean barely in his DRS. Marco is only 1.5 seconds behind Always. With 2 laps to go, can Always hold on to that 4th place? What a story that would be. The only one who would go all the way on a one-stop strategy here. Phantom Fox finally passed Guga up into 8th. And so many guys at the bottom of the field there on fresh softs trying to go fast lap. Edwin, Yusuf, Pix, Flavors, Leo and Gabri all on the softs. Essentially a qualifying session down there happening, all on its own. Well, we're watching the top 12 battle over the points paying positions. And we head on to the last lap of the Grand Prix. We have to keep an eye on leaders here. Sully, 7/10 ahead of PC. This is absolutely crucial. How far ahead can he get down towards the camel straight? That's the crucial deciding point of this Grand Prix. Is PC going to be close enough to make that move happen? Coming out of a Rouge. Fast lap of the race from Garby, 44.140. He wins this little qualifying session that's going on down there. And here we go. PC is very close to Sully. 4/10 the gap. That is certainly close enough. I don't think Sully has got anything to he can do against this. As they come out of La Source, PC Willy is very, very close. And they are going to go down into a Rouge, 4.5 tenths apart. PC Willy though has burned quite a bit with EIS already, but so has Sully. We go over the Camel Straight. Can Sully hold on? 3 tenths the gap. It's coming down. PC Willy already out of EIS though. Has PC Willy burned his EIS too early? I think he has. And Sully holds on, crucially, just about to the lead of this race. And he is now on his way to another race win, unless PC Willy can find some other way to get past him. But he's dropped back massively already to 30 here. And it looks like Sully has done just enough to win this race. Always now, he has been caught by Marco on this last lap. But is Marco able to put a move on him into Le Com? No, he's not. And with Marco's time penalty, Always might be on his way to 4th place. What a strategy call by him to just not pit. He is going to have to defend for his absolute life here. Because Pocho, of course, doesn't have a penalty and he wants that 4th place for sure. He's going to start putting pressure on Marco and Always. Coming into the last lap here, the last half lap, he's simply dropping way back from Sully. Sully very much on his way to win this race, but we cannot go onto his POV right now because this battle for 4th is still very, very hot. Pocho has to try and find a way around Marco so he can go after Always, but so far it's not happening. Sully coming into the last 2 corners on his way to win a 3rd race in a row. What a season Sully is having, and a very deserved win in Belgium once more. He is in complete control of this championship in Division 2 right now. But here we go, the battle for 4th place. Always seems to have won it, but can Pocho, can Marco do anything about it? Coming into the last corners, Pocho goes up the inside on Marco into the bus stop. But Always is too far ahead, and Always is going to pull through for 4th place on 17 lap old hards around Belgium. What a strategy call by him. 4th place for Always, then Pocho, then Sean, then Guga, Marco in 8th, Phantom in 9th, Bazooka rounding out top 10, and then Desi in 11th, followed by Mihai with Edwin in 13th. The fastest lap of the race in the end has gone to Gabri, unless anyone is going to beat at this lap. And I don't think anyone is. So, wow. What a Grand Prix we've had in Belgium once more. Congratulations to Sully. 3 wins in a row. He is just so quick right now. So unbelievably strong. PC ran him so close to the line. For sure the 2 fastest drivers today by an absolute mile. Viral as well, you have to give credit to his race, was fairly quiet. I didn't see him much really, because he was just so calm, so collected. He was, for a short moment, it looked like maybe he could attack Sully on the start of the race. What am I seeing? At the start of the race, unfortunately, the pit stop phase then dropped him back quite a bit, and from there he just calmly brought a P3 home. 8 seconds ahead, 12 behind. And what a duel that was in the midfield. I mean, the gap from Owais to Mihai is so close. From 4th to 12th, there really was not much in it. And that's it. Baselio's over the line. The race is officially over. And here we have our podium. Sully with a 3rd win in a row. And once more he's joined by PC Wooly on the 2nd step of the podium. Vowel in 3rd. Red Bull. Well, in real life it's not going very well for the Red Bull team. But in Division 2 of Total it could not be going any better really. And Sully being sprayed with champagne on the podium, and he has deserved every second of that. What a season, what a race this man is having. Race winner Sully, fast lap Gabri. Driver of the day Pocho certainly had a great race as well. And here we have the full results as well. I mean, Pocho coming from 11th to 5th. Sean from 19th to 6th as well with a great drive. Owais from 13th to 4th. Guga from 17th to 7th. So many comebacks in the field. Even PC already, I mean, from 7th to 2nd. But yeah, Sully, once more, no matter what anyone seems to do, it's just unstoppable, at least for the moment, as we have these wet races. I'm almost praying for a fully dry race to see what happens, because Sully uses the wet part to get away, and then he's just gone. But what would happen if he wasn't gone? Would someone be able to challenge him more? Of course, we saw with PC in the last 2 weeks, he's been in the duel, but Sully coming out just about on top, now 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, it's been very fun to see, and I can't wait to see more. We are 4 races into the season. Usually this is almost close to halfway, but we're still very much in the opening phase of the season. Our next race will be at Qatar, 7 days from now, of course, 7:30 PM UK time, next Wednesday. Can't wait, and surely Qatar is going to be dry. I mean, it has to be. What are the odds we get a wet race in Qatar as well? So that's good news for pretty much all of the drivers, apart from probably Viral, Sully, and Phantom. I think they're the only ones who have been liking these wet races. Yeah, of course, also the Division 1 Belgian Grand Prix happening on Saturday at 7:30 PM UK. Yeah, hope to see you for that. Thank you all very much for watching tonight's race. And once more, congratulations to our podium, Sully, PC Wooly, and Viral. Congratulations to Owais on a great Grand Prix as well. Yeah, have a good evening, and goodbye.